Welcome back to BNC News.
This is episode 6 of the school year.
Fari Intafazwa Juma's father, Enson, was recently featured on Elem TV. He was a 900th heart patient recipient at the University of Minnesota Medical Center.
The University of Minnesota Medical Center has reached a milestone only a few hospitals in this nation can claim, recently performing its 900th heart transplant.
Every day, 20 people die waiting on the transplant list, and a Paynesville man was nearly one of them until his life was transformed by this landmark surgery. Lindsay Sievert tells us this Thanksgiving wasn't just a holiday for him. It was a way of life for a man who now lives with a thankful heart.
I'm a huge believer in God, and He has done so much in my life, and I couldn't believe that this was happening to me.
A test of faith for a man all heart and soul when at age 41, Enson Juma was suddenly forced to walk the space between life and death.
I didn't know how long I had. It was getting worse.
Enson was diagnosed with acute heart failure. Doctors suspected a virus may have attacked his heart and told him only a heart transplant would save his life.
I didn't want anybody else to die. Just because I want to save me. Why me? Why should somebody else die? And I talked with one of the ladies at my church, and she told me pretty much simple stuff. Said, God is writing a story for you. He wrote a story for the person who's going to give you the heart.
Enson's new chapter began when he got a call after 6 difficult months waiting on the transplant list, several of them while hospitalized at the University of Minnesota.
What was the day like when you heard they found a match?
I was so excited. I was dumbfounded.
He has an amazing smile and an amazing outlook on life, and he's always been positive.
What he didn't know, Transplant Day was also a special victory for his U of M transplant doctors. His new heart would mark the hospital's 900th heart transplant. The state's first heart transplant was performed here in 1978.
Really, every transplant that we do, whether it's 844 or 901, and we have done 901 since, is exciting. And it usually takes a few seconds or sometimes a couple of nervous minutes for that heart to start beating again. That's the first burst of excitement that you're happy that everything's gone well.
And one donor can save 8 lives. And so continue to getting that awareness out there to be able to encourage people to be donors so they see Mr. Juma and they see him and the life that he's been able to continue to carry on.
This is my favorite truck.
One more reason
Whoa, look at these trucks.
he fought to carry on for his 2-year-old son,
Look at them.
born when Enson was gravely ill.
We called him Kuda Kwashe. In Zimbabwe, it means the will of God.
He's been nothing but a blessing.
A blessing.
I mean, through everything. Just, he brings joy.
Enson's story now begins with everlasting joy for the family he will always hold in his heart.
The families that decide to say we're going to donate an organ, whatever organ it is, they're the heroes of families like my family. I'm so grateful that I got to see another Thanksgiving again, and I praise God for that. I praise God for that.
Now, Enson told me his heart is working perfectly. He can feel his fingers and his toes for the first time in a very long time.
We were staying in the cities and we were visiting him, and one of his nurses kind of came in to do his vitals, and she's like, oh, it'd be nice if he got a heart while you guys are here. And apparently at that time, some of the nurses knew about it, and then the next morning we were staying in the cities at a hotel, and he called my mom and told her.
Yeah, it was great. Lots of crying.
It was supposed to happen at 11 a.m., but they just kept pushing it back because the heart is the last organ to be transferred and donated, and so that they just kept pushing the time back, and eventually he went in at 11 o'clock at night, so we all slept through his surgery.
If you could talk to the donor's family and say anything, what would you say to them?
Thank you so much for choosing to be a donor to save families like ours.
Yeah.
What have you guys learned as kids and your family learned going through a process like this?
How to stick together through hard times, because it gets pretty hard sometimes.
Kind of lean on each other and know that someone else has your back.
How's your dad doing?
Good. He got to come home last night and he has an intestinal infection, so he's not feeling the greatest, but he's really happy to be home. All his nurses loved his smile and how he was so happy, and they could just have a conversation with him.
Just be a donor, because it saves a lot of lives.
One donor can save up to 8 lives.
Mr. Rasmussen's Human Body System class recently presented the projects Shark Tank Style.
This is my HBS class, the Human Body Systems class. And what they're doing is project is the capstone unit of the capstone project of our identity unit. And in this unit, we were looking at how our biology kind of determines our identity and how each of us are different because of our biology. So what the students are doing here is the students had to come up with different types of bioinformatics. They were given a scenario and they had to come up with a proposal for how they would meet this scenario using bioinformatics, things like fingerprint scanners and stuff like that. And so the students, after they came up with their proposal, they had to come up with their own company, they had to design their project, and then they had to pitch it to a different panel of experts, just like Shark Tank. And then our experts got to vote on which scenario they would pick, and so students got to compete against each other. It was a nice way to tie in everything we've been talking about with identity, and so kind of do a different type of project. As an elective, after you take, every student will take PBS, but if you want to, you can take HBS. This is the next level of that. I would recommend this is a really fun, hands-on, in-depth course.
What is lamb security all about? Well, our goal is to find the most effective and accurate way to correctly identify newborn babies with their mothers. We have looked into many different ways to do this procedure, and we've decided to use baby's DNA and then match that up to the mother.
We will be getting the DNA out of the mother's saliva and the baby's saliva. The first step will be to have the mother of the child spit into a tube.
They say it's only beaten if you would take it from the wrong person's mouth, but that's highly unlikely to happen if you're doing it with doctors or if you are with law enforcement officials.
Reported by Ann Victoria in the Weekly World News, 1 out of every 8 babies born in America in the hospitals are sent home with the wrong parents. I'm Dr. Schrader. I work in St. Cloud, Minnesota at the hospital. And I recently heard about this statistic on here and decided to create a device that helps, or me and my team helped create a device that works with voice and fingerprint activation.
The voice, you can only unlock the bracelet if it recognizes the voice and the fingerprint of the mother. And in order to even access to try to unlock it, a paid professional like a doctor or nurse would have to enter a security code into the computer.
There is a new face this year at the secondary school. Jen Welle is our new paraprofessional.
So hi, my name is Jen Welle. I am one of the new faces here at the Painesville schools. I am a para, as well as this was my first year coaching 9th grade volleyball. I'm originally from Belgrade, graduated from BBE in 2001. My husband, Zach, and I, we live on the outskirts of Painesville, and Zach is actually a PHS grad and former wrestler, and we have 3 bulldogs of our own. Mason is in 2nd grade, Brock is in his 2nd year of preschool, and Carsey is in her 1st year of preschool. Last 9.5 years, I've actually worked in a financial planning company here in Painesville. So, and the reason, what brought me to Painesville was 2 reasons. First reason is my passion for coaching and love for volleyball. And the second reason is I was ready to be on the same schedule as our kids. So this is the perfect job to be home in the summer with the kids. But I absolutely love working here, being a para. The school, the teachers, students, is just a wonderful place to be. Favorite part about this job is just the kids. This school, like I said, the teachers, it's an amazing place. These students are amazing. The atmosphere is it's laid back. It's a fun environment. Our hobbies as a family, we love vacationing in Duluth. We go there a couple times a year. The boys love baseball, and we just love hanging out with our family and friends.
The elementary and secondary schools recently celebrated Veterans Day with programs in the high school auditorium.
Say thank you to you. I would love for everyone to be able to be in the music room when we start to learn the national anthem. It is a most incredible thing. And I was sharing with our color guard gentlemen the excitement and the joy that our students, your children, have in learning that song. So this afternoon, it is all about remembering those who have served and those who serve, and the important task for all of us to remember to say thank you, not just today, but always.
Good afternoon. Today we go to honor our nation's brave veterans, the men and women who have served our country in moments of trial and moments of peace. Alongside these heroes, as we also stand by the current members of our military. Please rise and pay tribute at the Painesville American Legion Color Guard Post number 271 at BNC Colors. But today we want to try to let you know how much we appreciate you. Today we want to say thank you. Today we want to put our hands in our hearts and say to all our soldiers and veterans, ladies and gentlemen, we honor you.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I consider this one of the highlights of my career. And really, I'm not going to lie to you, it's one of the scariest moments of my career as well. You know, I've been screamed at by drill sergeants. I've scared myself silly flying helicopters. I've had a few helicopters threaten to fall out of the sky on me. I've been around the world and I've been in some pretty dicey situations, and I've even been shot at in anger by some pretty sketchy people, but I find this completely terrifying. For me, the answers are pretty simple. I told you about my dad's story, and for me, my combat experience was truly 90% sheer boredom followed by 10% of sheer terror on a daily basis. Each veteran has his or her own story about why they joined and what their experience was like. We all share that common bond. And throughout my career, I've been unbelievably lucky to have met veterans from every conflict or skirmish since World War II. And the World War II guys are unbelievable. I just want you to take a moment and try and imagine what it's like to have a World War II guy come up and thank me for my service. These are guys that got dropped off on a beach in France or an island in the South Pacific, and they were told, when you get to Germany, when you get to Tokyo, you guys can go home. There's a reason that these men and women are called the greatest generation. To the soldiers who have traveled on to countries far and near, in peace and war you paid the price for the cause you hold so dear.
Our middle school and high school students held a Thanksgiving food drive during the month of November. The football team helped pack and deliver 31 turkey dinner baskets to the needy people in our community. Nice job to all our students and staff to help make this possible.
5th grade students recently held their DARE graduation. Thanks for watching.
And have a great rest of your week. Stay cool, Painesville, and go Bulldogs.
Yay!